But a lot of the criticism was pretty consistent, which is, how can I make generalizations about an entire generation? And the answer is, of course you can make generalizations about an entire generation. Like our grandparents, who grew up during the war, were frugal and miserly. Well, that's not because there's anything wrong with them, it's because they grew up during the war. And the experiences that they have, or had, when they came of age affected their worldview. And that's the same for every generation. The experiences we have when we come of age, when we're young, affect how we view the world. And this young generation is the first generation, millennials, to come of age when social media and mobile phones were ubiquitous. I'm old enough to remember a time before them. They're not, right? They cannot remember a time before the internet, many of them. I can, you know? So of course it affects their worldview. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. Every generation has experiences that are positive and negative. There's a lot of similarities. Also grew up with mobile phones and social media ubiquitous in their lives. But they're a more activist generation. You know, when millennials were younger, they were accused of being slacktivists. So if they were angry about something, they would simply hashtag and tweet. You know, this younger generation, Generation Z, is much more activist. When they're upset about something, they strike from school or they organize a rally, and they're pretty dynamic. I think they're socially aware, like the millennials, but they seem to be much more activist-minded, which is pretty amazing to watch. Like Greta Thunberg is a great example. Not every day is going to be fun. Not every day is going to be easy. Not every day is good. Sometimes work is hard, and sometimes work is frustrating, and sometimes work is difficult, and sometimes we don't want to be at work. And that's okay. You know, and I see this in a lot of people where they go from job to job to job, finding the one that's wonderful and passionate every day. They'll never find what they're looking for, ever, because it doesn't exist. But to find a job that makes us feel a part of something bigger than ourselves, that we feel that our bosses and our colleagues are there to support us and help us grow, that if we make a mistake, they tell us, get back up and try again. You know, that we feel like that we can contribute to each other, that we're on a team, then it makes difficult days much easier, and it makes being a part of it the joy of work. And I think we are all entitled to love our jobs.